All right, so today we are here at Marion Outdoor Swimming Centre.
Yep.
Is there two swimming centres in Marion?
Yeah, he's got the Marion Aquatic Centre over here and outdoor here.
There you go. You may remember Mitch from one of my earliest number 2 full landscape.
Yeah. Yep.
So Mitch traditionally is doing residential landscaping, but is now on a commercial site doing lawn and softscape.
Softscape.
So we're going to have a bit of a look around, and I'll just ask some questions about what's going on here, and just give you a bit of a insight into what a commercial site's like compared to residential sites. We haven't actually done any commercial deep dives yet, so
cool.
Let's have a look around. So there's a lot of water here.
Yeah, well, because these guys were doing the barley hut yesterday, that all gets watered and combed down.
Yep.
So there was just water all day yesterday.
That's cute. So I wonder if they're going to have that, like whoever gets here first, or if you actually have to pay to use it.
I'd say there'd be some sort of booking system. Because it's going to have to be during COVID anyway, I would have thought.
Yeah.
For the whole lot.
Because like you go to Bali, you get those huts like at Waterpro Park,
yep.
and you just pay like $10 to have it for the day, but they've got them everywhere. But at least you know that it's yours. Like, you don't have to line up.
There's going to be a barbecue and stuff in here.
Yep.
So I think you'd have to just reserve this section.
Yep.
But I think there might be some other barbecues going around the place anyway. There's a couple over there.
Okay. So your guys are laying lawn and planting.
Yeah.
And then there's another contractor laying irrigation around your planting.
Yes.
And then you'll mulch over the top.
Yeah, so obviously working with another contractor has its challenges, but everything's flowing okay.
Yep.
So they'll finish that up today, and then they're going to do the wiring tomorrow.
Yep.
Failing that, they're going to install nodes, so we can get water for the weekend.
Yep.
And then we'll mulch everything.
Because then you'll have control of your watering. That's always a risk when someone else is in charge.
Yeah, and obviously we are liable
responsible
for the plants and the turf until handover at the very least.
Yep. So this is Hartley loam that you put down?
Yep.
That screeds okay when it's dry?
It's fantastic.
Yep.
Really good to use.
Yeah, I've had a few guys say it's a bit soupy, but I mean, obviously if you put that much water on anything.
It's soupy if you,
Yeah.
But I mean, it was, when we got all that big rain last week, I think, but that was the day after we prepped, and it probably saved the site.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rain.
There was some water courses through it.
Yep.
But had it not been here, we wouldn't have been able to get back in.
Yeah, okay.
For a little while, so that was quite lucky.
And so you've just used the large level that's over there to level it out?
Yeah, aptly named Level Boy.
Level Boy. And it looks like we've got some BBW.
Got BBW and got laid.
Yep.
Obviously the combination.
Shameless lawn hub plug injected there.
The combination we use on every lawn. But no, it's good. So we'll speak to the council about what they want to use on it going forward.
Yep.
And obviously we can offer some suggestions, we will.
Yep. Yeah, I know a lot of the councils work with fertiliser manufacturers to do programs for this kind of thing, so I won't be surprised if they've already got a plan. But
well, I spoke to them the other week, and I don't think they've got a huge plan towards it.
Yep.
It was sort of, they never really expected it to turn out to be a new lawn coming into summer. So they were just going to continue doing their usual maintenance. They're going to do broadleaf spray and things over there and some mowing, but getting a lawn up and running is a different story.
Well, I imagine we're 2 weeks away from 23, 24 regular.
Well, this weekend's 22, I think.
That's like, what a time to be laying lawn.
Perfect time for laying lawn. So if we can get enough water into it, obviously it's got enough food.
Yep.
I mean, you'd expect to be mowing it in 3 weeks to a month.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be funny because it probably will be 3 weeks. And
I mean, everything else we've been laying lately, even in the cold weather we've been mowing within 3 weeks to a month.
And this is kikuyu, obviously.
Yeah, the Eureka kikuyu.
There would never have been any other turf for a site like this.
No, so it's all over there still.
Yep.
It's over there, so you're not. And with the amount of foot traffic you're going to get, you kind of need something that's going to self-repair and be a little bit hardier.
Yep.
So.
And with the plant choices, was that your responsibility, or there was a landscape design?
That was all done by a landscape designer.
Yep.
We've had to do a couple of substitutes, but nothing out of the ordinary. It's mainly ground covers and things like that.
Yep. And was there much soil work that needed to be done, or you kind of just...
No, it was all dug out with the civil contractors, and we had to install garden soil.
So that's where the Jeffrey special soil went?
Yes.
Yep, okay, cool. So that's like the gold standard, I guess, as far as soils go.
Well, we don't really plant anything else either.
You always use it?
Yep.
Yep.
And in combination with bush, another shameless plug.
You know, it's funny, we sold 2 tubs of bush online yesterday. We haven't sold anything for a year.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously people are starting to get out into their gardens now that spring's about to sprung.
And then, I mean, even if we don't get a chance to use special soil, we use it in combination with wet too. It's not just for the lawns.
Yep.
So give the plants the best chance, and then we'll be using Jeffrey's Recover on top of that.
Yep.
Before the warm weather gets here.
Yeah, I've put Recover down at home. That's all I've always used.
It's all we use.
It's got organic compost in it, and it just makes sense. Like, it's a recycled product, but also a good recycled product.
Oh, it's got blood and bone in it too, I think.
Yeah, it's like a small, like 5%, or I don't even know if it would be that much, but yeah, enough.
More than,
yeah. Well, more than bark chips.
Yeah.
So, or recycled pallets.
And nothing dyed ever comes on our sites.
Yeah.
So this
yeah,
is
I'm not a big fan of it.
Water park that's obviously under construction currently.
Yep.
It's going to be a big tipping bucket on top. We believe all those pipes are going to be filled with water. That's how they get the water around, as in the actual frame itself. There's bubblers.
Well, they've all those flanges on the side.
Yep.
They're actual water flanges. Yeah.
Okay.
And they've got gaskets on them, so that's correct.
Yep.
So they're like a table D or a table E flange or whatever they are, and they just bolt them together with bolts. And
it's a pretty crazy setup. Everything comes out of Turkey.
Not hard to replicate.
No.
There must be some pretty crazy safety regulations around it, but
there's only 2 or 3 guys in the country that do it, I think.
Yeah.
These guys did Dreamworld, and they said they do about 6 parks like this a year.
Yep. And that's enough to keep them busy.
Well, they'll be here for months.
Yep.
And during COVID, their supervisors haven't been able to be here either.
So they're running on Zoom calls and...
Pretty well. They've had to quarantine. They've had 2 lots of quarantine in both states.
Yep.
Because they're from Byron.
Yep.
So that slowed the process down. They're hoping, I think, to be done by the end of next week or the week after.
Yep.
And then we'll come back in and turf.
So they're just living down here?
Yeah.
Just Airbnb-ing it or hoteling it?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
But they're pretty good. So I think it's an ideal time to do it, and it'd be great in summer. Yeah. For the kids. So yeah, throwing out some more ready for some turf over there.
Cool. All right, show us whatever else you've got to show, and I'll get Duffman to catch some B-roll.
Yeah, it's probably not a great deal. I mean, we've got a new playground over there, but it's just, the vast majority of it's just turf.
So what caught you out about this job that you weren't prepared for, that you'll change about the way you do things moving forward?
It's actually been pretty good.
Yep.
If I'd probably just working with other contractors, if we had the opportunity to do the irrigation, that probably would have been handy. Yep. Just so we knew, where everything was. We could have it operational when we wanted it. Yep. But other than that, it's been pretty smooth. We work with these builders a lot, so they kind of just let us dictate our own schedule to a point. And will you be running a roller over this? Yeah, absolutely.
A heavy roller?
Yeah, so tomorrow that's the plan, to just finish all the cutting in and rolling it. Sort of while we've got bodies on site, it's more important to get meters down. Yep. But we'll have the 1,000 down by the end of today. Yep. And then we've got more coming next week. So didn't want to set the bar too high as far as, meters down. You don't want it sitting around either. And so the tool you've used, I noticed on your Instagram, so you've had excavators here, but you had a big, mechanical wheelbarrow basically. Oh yeah, the tipper. Yeah. Just to bring soil in around the back here, because they've got turf ties on there. There's far less impact, and anything that we destroy, obviously we've got to fix. So if we can limit that. So rather than running a bobcat out or a... Yeah, well, we had to take an excavator over there early on to dig out for the paths and things like that. But with the amount of water we had sort of in the last month, everything just got really boggy. So if we could limit the damage, that'd be great. Yeah, so we can run out. We're just running a ton at a time over there and just trying to keep the impact low. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you just got a pallet jack to drag all the lawn around. That's it. I mean, we can gain access from paths everywhere, so that's been a plus. I mean, we've got 2,000 meters, but if you can lay it straight off the pallet, it's going to be as quick as it possibly can be.
And early in the piece, we didn't look at it, but we talked briefly about maxi rolls.
Yeah, I just don't know if it was going to be appropriate in the end. Because
the shapes
are odd. They've got slopes. You're driving over your prep that's probably going to be a little bit too wet. You're damaging things that you've sort of done a couple of times.
So maxi rolls are a metre wide by how they're massive. It's basically a full pallet. It'd probably be a 50 square metre roll.
Yep.
Because a pallet of turf's 50 squares, so that turf over there, I think it's 50. So they just use a large tractor and they have it roll off the back, so you'd run it down. But then, you said, you're trying to get those intricate.
So, I mean, it's not the most fun way to do it in your standard rolls, but again, less impact on the site.
Yeah, good cardio for the boys. I'm sure they're loving it.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think yesterday was as hard as we all thought it was going to be because they were so close and because there's a few of us. Impact was pretty low. You're only sort of putting down 150 metres a day each, and that's more than
you'd do that residentially anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. I think we got 650 down yesterday. We already got 9 o'clock now, something like that. Probably already got another 150 down.
And how much longer until you're off this site?
End of next week.
Yep.
So it's a soft handover. I mean, because these guys have been so delayed.
Yep.
Handover kind of just got thrown out the window. Everything's changing.
Well, and swimming centres, I mean, aside from using the main pool for swimming training, no one's coming swimming at the moment. It's not that warm.
No.
So it's not like they're missing out on the opportunity to do that.
As long as it's done for, summer, I think it's okay.
Which is 3 months.
Well, the builders have got to be out of their side. So I think earlier in the year we were here and we did the kiosk.
Yep.
And now they've obviously got the pump room and new bathrooms and things like that.
Yep.
Their handover is next week, but we're now dictated by Swimplex.
Yep.
So there's 3 vestiges. You've obviously got the council, you've got the builder, and you've got Swimplex, and we're trying to just liaise with all 3 and just fit in around people.
Yeah, but look from what it looks like, they're not going to be impacting your grass.
No, well, they've got this one section here, which we'll have to leave, which is probably.
And they'll just keep coming in from there.
Yeah, I mean, their crane came in at probably the worst time. There's so many ruts and things in there, but there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
They've got a job to do. The fact that there's turf in their way is inconsequential. The playground's done now, so we've got some trees to go around there, softball and grass. That only got finished yesterday. They pulled the props off it. And
it will all be softball. That makes a lot of sense considering that there's going to be a lot of people here.
Yes.
So is it spec softball, legit softball?
Yes,
yep.
305 millimetres of it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's the full safety.
That's all obviously there's specs around compression and things like that. And
I know they do tests on it to make sure that no pieces are bigger than a certain size and that you can't land on a spear of it. They're basically all little squares.
As far as I know, that's coming out of railways too.
Yeah, sick.
So,
I know that Jeffrey's pay more money to have that certified. Yeah. So I think Pete's have a playscape.
But it's not the same.
But it's not. They don't pay for that certification. I think I might be wrong, so I probably should check that. But do you need to talk to these guys?
No, that's the council, but we don't have a relationship with. Yeah. I talk to Dale, which is different, and he's not here.
They just have to keep ticking their boxes.
I think that's it. They were taking some photos yesterday. I mean, they've got bills to pay, so they want to make sure it's getting done right too, which is absolutely fine.
I think that's it. I can't think of anything else.
No, I think that's pretty well it. I mean, it's a big site, but there's probably not a lot of things going on now.
No, that's right. It's a lot of dollars, but not a lot of individual lines.
No, I think the whole project was about 3 million.
Yeah.
I think. So they're spending enough.
Yep.
So hopefully COVID lifts and they can use its full potential.
I think COVID should be finished in about 60 days, maybe 90. See what happens. I've said it on camera.
See what China says.
So this is, deep dive at Marion Outdoor Swimming Centre. This is in the Marion City Council. And this has been Mitch from Sand and Stone.